bill filed in Tallahassee could open up new opportunities for athletes at the University of Florida and other higher learning institutions.
The legislation would make a major change to Florida's name, image, and likeness law. Currently, compensation for student athletes only may be provided by a third party unaffiliated with a post-secondary school. The legislation would change that, allowing colleges, universities, and employees to steer compensation to athletes.
A lot of states repealed their law, and they basically just said, all right, well, you know, the NCAA stepped away from this. We're just going to get rid of our law and we'll follow their basic framework. And unfortunately, what that does to the athlete is it takes away the protections that we put in, like financial literacy, life skills training.
The new state legislative session begins in March.